You already knew something felt off and you kept going anyway. Nothing really looked wrong, but something inside of you had already shifted and moved. And the strange part is you felt it and you just kept going. This often shows up as something small. Maybe it's a conversation you've always had with somebody. You normally say yes, but this time doesn't feel right. And that pause, that moment where your stomach starts to tighten and you just hesitate the littlest bit and you wonder, what's wrong? This used to be okay. That's the moment. Most people miss it and they don't act on it. That little pause, it's information that your body is trying to give you. You might start to look at things a little bit differently. Things you used to brush off or ignore, you're starting to notice that. You might start noticing where you automatically say yes when you really mean no or maybe. It's not that you didn't notice it, you just didn't act on it in the past. I've definitely had moments of that in my life. Last night, I was on a phone call, knew it should have been over in 5 minutes, and I waited 30 minutes before ending the call. My body gave me the cue. I was aware of the cue. I just didn't choose to act on it. And a lot of us do that. This is known as the in-between phase. But while that old version of you isn't quite right anymore, the new version of you or the new way of things of being isn't quite fully formed yet either. And the new things and the new people who are starting to match more of who you are haven't quite arrived yet. That space can feel slow. It can feel very frustrating, and sometimes it can feel lonely. Have you ever noticed that as you start to change, a lot of times the people around you stay the same? And suddenly you feel like you're the oddball and you're the one who's off. You're not exactly becoming different. I feel like you're getting more clarity. You're seeing things in a different light and in a different way. Take, for example, you're driving and you have a dirty windshield. You start to clear that windshield. You start to notice, oh, there's a new store I've never noticed before. Your vision starts to be a little bit different. So why does this feel uncomfortable? For many of us, well, a lot of us, we were taught how to adapt, how to adjust, how to fit in. Because as we're children, as we're growing up, we are learning social norms, what's okay, what's not okay. We might not be completely sure on what our core values are because we're so used to being what society or our parents have taught us in our best interest. Hopefully, we've learned to keep the peace, be helpful, be the strong one. So when something inside starts to shift, the body begins to react. You're beginning to respond to something that you may have ignored in the past. That can show up as being restless, irritability, or being cranky, or just a feeling that something is just not landing the way it used to. And this is where people get confused. They think they're starting to fall apart or lose it, but they're not. They're becoming more honest. They're becoming more authentic to their true beliefs. It's natural as we get older that we are beginning to learn who we truly are. As you start noticing things, you start to notice where you might override yourself, where you used to stay quiet, and when you went along with something that wasn't exactly what felt right for you. That doesn't mean that the other person or the people that you have been with are wrong. It's about how you're starting to identify what your authentic core values are and your beliefs are. So awareness comes first. Many people don't realize they feel it early, but then they wait. That space between feeling it and acting on it, that's the pattern. And over time, that can create confusion. So really that awareness, that leads us into living a more aligned and authentic life, who and what we truly are here to do. And it's part of that whole growth process. For many women, as we get older, after we've raised our families, after we've done certain things with our careers, we start to notice that these patterns, these things that we used to just automatically do, they don't sit right with us anymore. Our relationships might change, our jobs might change, children are moving out, and we're trying to figure out where we are fitting in. What do we say yes to? What do we say no to? And that's why I have a pilot program called Release and Rise to help women in that in-between place, to help live that more aligned, authentic life, to stop overriding their feelings and to trust those signals sooner rather than later. There's more information below if you'd like to learn more. So if something feels different right now, if you feel like you're not quite who you used to be, but you're not quite where you want to be, You're not alone. That in-between place is a stage, and being honest with yourself that things are starting to change and evolve can make the world of difference. Because once you start noticing that change, you can't unsee it. And then you can start to live your life in a more authentic way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.